All right, welcome back. This is part 2 of the practice where we talk about law of cosines given 3 sides. So what we're trying to find is an angle. All right, let's read the question. Draw a triangle. Let's apply this law of cosine stuff real fast like. So triangle NOP, there is an N equals 1.1, a O equals 2.1, and a P equals 2.6. Okay, so I kind of drew that out while I was saying it. Here's my 1.1. Here's my 2.1, here's my 2.6. And remember, these are attached to P, O, and N, which means I have to label my triangle very carefully, the big letters, N opposite small n, O opposite small o, P, that's supposed to be P anyway, not a Q, opposite little p. All right, so those are my sides and angles. Then I need to find the measure of angle P to the nearest degree. So the thing I'm trying to find is this guy up here, up top. So when I write the formula, I have to keep in mind that what I'm looking for is angle P. So big P should be in my formula. And since there's only one angle in the whole thing, only one cosine, it should be cosine P. Okay. Then I'm just going to fill the rest out. Okay. Remember that if this big P is what you're looking for, then you have to have little p on the left, and that the rest of it should fill itself in. So you have n squared, o squared, and you have 2n o. Okay. Yeah, kind of weird. We're putting our variables next to our cos. It's kind of weird, but just make sure you know these are variables and not cos. Okay. Now we just plug in the numbers and do some math to get p by itself, since we are trying to find what it is, which involves the isolation of said variable. So p is 2.6. Okay, nice. We've got n as 1.1. We've got o as 2.1. And we've got minus 2 times 1.1 times 2.1 cosine big P. All right, we don't know what that is still. So all of this stuff hopefully looks like I just plugged in and took what I needed from the problem prompt in my triangle and plopped them where I needed to put them. Okay. This is where having a calculator will come in handy. So now let's go ahead and do that. We have 2.6 squared, which is 6.76. These are going to be some pretty small numbers. Zoom did not like that. Zoom did not like that either. When will Zoom be okay with it? Okay, that's kind of okay. 6.76 equals, we got 1.1 squared, which should be 1.21. And we have 2.1 squared. That one should be 4.41. Okay. And then we have minus 2 times 1.1 times 2. That one I'm not so sure on, so I'll do the calculator for it. We got 2.1 times 1.1 times 2. Okay, 4.62 is what that is apparently. So I got 4.62 cosine of big P. All right, now we just got to move everything around and isolate our variable, right? Which means we got to get everything on to the left side, since we already have cosine on the right side. All right, so let's go ahead and move our things around. 1.21 plus 4.41, that's going to give me 5.62, I believe. 5.62. I still have the minus 4.62 over here. Okay. And then I need to move this over to the other side, combine it with our 6.76, right? So that'll give me something like, what is this? Minus 5.62. I'm trying to do the mental math. It's taking a little longer than I needed it to be. 1.14 equals negative 4.62 cosine P, right? And then we just need to divide our whole thing by 4.62. Negative, of course. We don't need the negative sign. So when we divide here, minus 4.62, it'll hopefully give us something along those lines. I don't obviously know how to do that mentally, so I'm going to definitely plug it in here. We got 1.14 divided by minus 4.62. Okay, that gives us a nice negative 0.2467. So I'm going to go ahead and move over here. Negative 0.24675. And that is equal to cosine P. And finally, at the very end, you just do your inverse cosine to get rid of the cosine over here. And you'll finally have P equals whatever that is, which we take to our calculator. functions, inverse cosine. Looks like answer is available, so let's just use answer. And voila, voila. We have our answer here. Hopefully you can see it down here in the red. 104.285 something something. And it says to round to the nearest degree. 2 is not closer, so I'm just going to cut it down to 104. Let's take a look at it. How we did 104. Let's take a look. Yahoo! We did it. We got there, friends. So you can see all their work here. I think they do all the moving before they actually do any of the mental calculations and stuff, but you can see they still got the same numbers I did at the very end here, and then they cut it off. They do have a second solution, but I guess this is the one I did, right? So they can do the one, you can do the whole thing, or you can have it so that you can just reorganize it and have it do the same thing. Either way, you want to think about it, you should still end up with the right answer. All right, that's practice 2 for you.